What do non-Harley riders think of Harley Davidsons? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So this video is all about, wow, what do people think of Harley Davidsons? And do they think they're rubbish? They're great? Well, I'm specifically talking about those bikers, riders around the world who do not ride Harley Davidsons or who have never ridden Harley Davidsons and what they think of them. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you either get real fans or real haters of this particular brand, no doubt, and it seems to attract a lot of attention, a lot of negative attention, possibly more so than any other brand. Maybe BMW gets a similar kind of amount. It's quite interesting that people can come up to you, a complete stranger, and they can say, oh, I love your bike, if you ride a Harley Davidson, let's say, and I love that. And I suppose riders of other brands get similar kinds of things as well. But in terms of curb appeal, in terms of street appeal, as it were, you know, there is something definitely eye-catching about Harley Davidson. Whether you like it or not, there is something there that it sets itself apart, because it's more possibly aesthetically pleasing in many ways. It's more of a jewelry piece in many ways, if you know what I mean. Now, you either like that or you don't, but there are certain people, I don't know, with some kind of personality disorder, I don't know, but they feel the need to come up to you and say how much they hate your bike or how much they hate Harley Davidsons. You know, I never asked for your opinion in the first place, but you know, you're giving it, so that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But it's not as if I would go up to somebody who rides a Triumph or rides a Ducati or whatever, and I say, I absolutely hate Ducatis, or I absolutely hate your bike. You know, I don't know what people are thinking. You know, what kind of a reaction do they think they're going to get from somebody? You know, if you come up to me and say I hate your bike, and I'll be like, well, stuff you too then, sod ya. You know, so people can be really negative towards Harley Davidsons, and I think sometimes they forget that they're just expressing their opinions, but also they can be quite personal, or it can be taken in the wrong way or the right way, depends on which way you look at it. I think it's fair to say that most of the hate, as if you want to use that word, comes from the lack of performance on Harley Davidsons, or what people would do to their bike to try and get a little bit of performance out of them, and the cost associated with that as well. They're overpriced tractors, they're agricultural. You've heard it all before, all the hate words out there, all the hate descriptions out there. But most riders of other bikes can't understand, I suppose, the amount of money that people are willing to spend on Harley Davidsons for technology that is relatively old. Yes, there is new technology, but this foundation is still relatively old. And then they look at the performance, they look at the running costs, they look at the initial purchase price, but then obviously the servicing costs as well. They look at the lifestyle aspect as well, if you want to include that. Some people won't, but other people will. So there's a lot that other bikers would look at Harley Davidsons and say they're just not worth it. What's the point in buying that? I can get a Kawasaki or a Honda that is a fantastic tourer, and it'll never let me down. Now, this video is not to convince anybody to start loving Harley Davidson or to start hating Harley Davidson. It's more about what do other riders think of Harley Davidsons and why do they think that. Now, for Harley Davidson riders, and we all do it, we all look at our bikes and we all try to think of ways to improve it, or try to improve performance, let's say, to a certain degree. I've got to say, I've never been totally convinced by the whole performance gains from aftermarket parts on Harley Davidsons, because if you really want performance gains, go and get a performance bike. And I think that's where other riders are looking at it, because I never started off on Harley Davidsons. I always had Japanese and British bikes from the past. So I never had a Harley Davidson, I never had an American bike. So I look at it also from a performance point of view, and I don't ride a Harley Davidson for performance. I ride it for a riding style now that I've adopted and that I really enjoy. But I'm not really riding it for total performance. If I wanted total performance, I would have kept my Kawasaki ZZR 1400, which was a bullet. So people will have their opinions, and they'll be quite vocal about those opinions as well. Yeah, and sometimes it can be personal, sometimes it can be rather misplaced as well. But there is that negative feeling from other riders towards Harley Davidsons, but there's also a positive feeling in some quarters as well. Harley Davidsons have definitely improved over the last few years, in my opinion, certainly from the M8 engines as well. And I think that's attracted riders from other bikes as well, or other brands as well. But I can't speak for all other riders out there. I can't speak for riders of Triumph or riders of BMW. So this is over to you guys who possibly ride Harley Davidsons, who've come from other brands. Why did you come over to a Harley Davidson? But also, if you don't ride a Harley Davidson and you watch my channel, let's say, well, let us know in the comments below why you don't think you'd ever want to ride one. Is it because of the technology? Is it because of the performance? Is it because of the price? Lots of comments, you know, come in for overprice, you pay an overprice, and yeah, I would tend to agree with that as well. But I would also say that motorcycles in general are overpriced these days as well, you know, at all levels. But anyway, listen, let us know in the comments below. But what do bikers of other motorcycle brands think of Harley Davidson? I'd say it's a mixed bag, really, wouldn't you? Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. And I'll catch you again on another video coming very soon. Ta-ra.